Hey everybody, episode 6 of Goblin Slayer review. Pretty much, goblins were slain this episode.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.
Because there was no goblins last episode.
Yeah, last episode sucked.
Well, the beginning of this episode, we get to see Tentacles fan service.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary. It's just some what's it called? Yandere.
She wasn't yonder. She didn't have a personality. She was just there.
She was, okay, some trio of lady fighters came up, saved a woman who was naked, getting attacked by an undead army, and I don't know what it is about this show, but they always have a random side adventure going on that we don't need to know about. Are we going to learn about these characters?
No, we didn't. They didn't come back to it, did they? No, they were just there just to be there.
I bet you there's going to be a final episode where a bunch of adventurers have to go fight the Demon Lord, and then, oh, you see all these heroes that they were talking about in the side quest, and
we
I'm
brought them back.
Like, shut up. I don't need to see these guys.
And then they all die.
Probably. And Goblin Slayer is the one person who can fight the Demon Lord.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to, because it's not a goblin. So,
Yo, he really was going hard with that goblin thing this episode.
Yeah. Well, let's go into it. So, Goblin Slayer and his band of misfits decide to go off to whatever town to go to the Sword Maiden's request. So, the Sword Maiden was revealed last episode in a little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Kind of just this legendary maiden who beat the Demon Lord, 10 years ago?
Yeah, but now she's blind. Was she blind?
I don't even know. We never saw her face, so we can assume she was always blind. So.
Yeah.
But she reminds me of that Justice statue that like holds a scale and is also blindfolded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Not much to say about her. She was very calm and coy. She was able to read the room. She just gave Goblin Slayer and his team the lay of the land. She was saying, hey, there's some goblins in our town. Military is not interested because they're not interested in fighting anything that's not a Demon Lord army. So we need some adventurers to handle it.
Yeah, and then it's interesting because we learned a little bit more about goblins. Like they were piloting ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
According to Goblin Slayer, they learn to adapt to their surroundings. But the one thing they weren't ready for was the giant swamp dragon that was down there.
And he said something. He said something about that. He was like, "Oh, the fact that they didn't know, they wouldn't be riding these boats if they knew there was a swamp dragon down here."
Which means they weren't created naturally or something.
Or like someone taught them recently how to use those boats. And then we get like at the end of the episode, we get like some like sneak peek of some big thing. Maybe I look like another ogre. Or it could have been like a big goblin, or it could have been someone just working with the within the goblins. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I do think there's a conspiracy going on in the goblin world, and of course, the Goblin Slayer's gonna get to the bottom of it. But pretty much, he had some line where he was talking about how goblins are being artificially made and not naturally, or I don't even know if they were talking about.
Because he's like these guys they didn't just procreate here.
No, he said something created them that wasn't natural, and
or something brought them there.
Yeah, it could be that they were summoned from another place. I don't know, but I really just need another episode to figure out what's happening because while this was interesting as a conspiracy, it was lost on me.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with it, but so far this show has been episodic. So in terms of like, it's not completely, but like,
no, you're not wrong. It's episodic.
Yeah, it is not really a plot, and maybe this might lead it towards a plot.
Like, there's a major story going around with the Demon Lord, but Goblin Slayer's not part of that, so that's episodic.
Yeah, that's right. There is a major thing going on with this Demon Lord. And eventually he's going to keep ignoring it, and then it's like right in his face.
And he's like, I gotta deal with it now.
If I want to slay more goblins, I gotta deal with this. Yeah. Like, that's probably what's going to happen.
He's like, this is just inconvenient.
Yeah, he was like being so disrespectful to the Sword Maiden too. And unless she was talking about goblins, he didn't want to hear it.
He did that thing again with giving them a choice. He's like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to go, but if you don't go, I'm gonna go by myself. She's like, that's not really a choice. Yeah, it is. There are two options. So either I go with you or you go by yourself. Yeah. That's not a discussion.
That is not a choice, yo. It's like, you're still gonna go.
He's like, no, it's happening. It's like, I'm letting you show up. Like, no, shut up, Goblin Slayer.
Oh, you know what the worst part of this episode? Well, it's not the worst. It's just funny. When someone was coming out of the water, he's like, is that a goblin? and then the giant monster came with a goblin, and he's like, "That is not a goblin." Like, yo, bro, no shit. Everyone said that. Thanks
like,
for staying obvious.
Right.
That's
I'm
not
just
a goblin.
like, yo, you need to get your head out your ass. No one cares. Like, we want to live. We want something interesting. This man's just
monotone. Goblin is only
Goblins on his mind, bro. I'm just like, what is wrong with you?
Bro. He sleeps, dreaming, like everything about goblins.
I don't know. I wish he was just. I don't know what I want from him. I want the personality.
He's literally one-dimensional towards goblins, yo.
It hurts my head. I'm like, yo, I don't even care about goblins anymore. After the fourth episode, it lost its charm. But I guess.
Is that a goblin?
I guess it's funny.
No.
He's making me mad now.
He's making me mad is all he thinks about.
So, but
I don't think much else happened that episode. I mean, we saw the other characters use their abilities, but I don't even remember like half that. The dwarf using some type of stone thing to like drop on the boat.
He tried to be like that stone Hokage from Naruto.
Yeah.
Except he sucks.
Yeah.
What's it called? Only thing that came in my head just now was because we're seeing the Sword Maiden, who was part of some party that fought the Demon Lord. I want to see the other members of the group that beat the Demon Lord. So that.
Oh yeah, she is a part of it. Okay, yeah.
That's the only thing that
might be dead.
Caught my attention. If they're all dead, they need to say it because they never said.
Oh yeah, and they maybe they haven't thought that far into the story yet.
Because they never gave anybody names, so why would you give them?
Well, exactly.
I don't know, but the episode was alright. Definitely better than the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But not much to say about it.
No. Catch us next week for episode 7.
Like, comment, subscribe.